It's been a while since anyone was ID'd at the pub, but soon this could be your passport to a pint.
Here we go, your QR code, please.
The app doesn't check whether you're old enough, but immune enough to come in.
Yep, all good. Thank you.
Its developer got a government grant to design one way to scan your records.
It's consensual.
With your permission, which could check if you've had a vaccine.
We've had an airline interested, which I can't tell you about. It's confidential.
And how much interest have you had in this from the government?
We know they're actively looking at it, and we have very good reason to know that they're actively looking at exactly this.
The Prime Minister has confirmed that the UK government will consider the case for the introduction of so-called vaccine passports. The document could take the form of a vaccine certificate or proof of COVID status, and the NHS mobile app could be modified to carry that information.
Flight to New York JFK.
Julio Castañeda is flying to New York, and before he can board his flight, he has to prove that he's COVID-free.
You download the app on your phone, it has all your information.
This is AOK Pass, a digital health passport that verifies whether someone has tested negative for the coronavirus or gotten inoculated. It's also known as a vaccine passport and meant to be easier to use and more reliable than paper immunization cards.
Medical results often are not even printed in a way that it's easy to interpret. Our system can verify health records.
Since the pandemic has devastated the travel industry, airports in Rome, Paris, and Singapore, as well as airlines like JetBlue and United, are experimenting with similar apps. They will compete for a slice of the global market for travel health services and certifications, which AOK Pass estimates is worth nearly $20 billion. Travel industry experts say this type of digital health certificate could be a game changer, not just for tourism, but live events and schools. So here's how digital health passports work. Travelers who weren't able to take a COVID-19 test before departure at this airport in Rome can get swabbed at a testing site set up by the airport. While waiting for the result, passengers can download the AOK Pass app and input their personal information like their birthday and email address. Within 30 minutes, the result is available. If the traveler tests negative, the app creates a unique QR code that serves as proof.
The doctor's scanning the QR code that says that you're negative and you're good to go.
At the airport in Rome, it has to be scanned at check-in and boarding.
I think this is the only way really right now to travel safely without risking contracting COVID.
Some, but not all airlines and governments require proof of a negative test before a passenger is allowed to board a flight or enter a country. While testing and vaccinations reduce the risk of spreading the virus, they don't eliminate it.
In the setting of COVID-19, health information is beginning to be used in a transactional sense, much more than before.
Chester Drum is a doctor at the National University Hospital in Singapore and co-founded AOK Pass. He expects that in order for people to return to pre-pandemic life, they'll have to show proof of their health status.
Let me show you part of my medical record to get on an airplane. Let me show you that I've had a vaccination procedure in order to go to an event, for example.
As vaccination efforts gain momentum worldwide, tech companies and countries are now racing to develop a standard way to document vaccination status. In the UK, one company is already rolling out what are known as digital vaccine passports. NBC News correspondent Sarah Harmon joins us now from Heathrow Airport with an exclusive look. Sarah, good morning.
Hey, Joe, good morning to you. You know, vaccination passports are nothing new. International travelers are probably familiar with this little yellow book. You've got to show proof of yellow fever vaccination, for example, if you want to visit some countries in Africa. The problem with these little papers is that they're not secure and they're pretty easy to forge. That's got governments, but also private companies scrambling to come up with a better solution today. We got an inside look at what one company in the north of England is trying.
They're here. Digital vaccine passports are rolling out for healthcare workers in the north of England. It's the work of British company V Health Passport.
What's the advantage of having this digitally? Why not just give everyone a piece of paper?
People are starting to sell fake COVID passports so they can go on airlines. They're using the V code because it is end-to-end secure. It ensures that none of these certificates, either paper or digital, can be forged.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. They're far from alone. IBM, Microsoft, even the Danish government are all working on their own versions of a digital vaccine passport to reopen borders and allow people to travel without quarantines.
We very much see this pandemic transforming the travel experience, similar to what 9/11 did with security. Health passports, proof of vaccination going forward is something that we really believe will be with us for some time.
IATA, the International Air Transport Association, which is piloting its own vaccine passport, says the biggest hurdle isn't the technology at all, but the lack of clear standards from governments and the World Health Organization.
The standards that we need in place, we needed them months ago. So yeah, we need the pace to step up.
As the number of people vaccinated against COVID in France grows, so does talk of a vaccine passport to travel. This French politician says such a document could also be used to visit restaurants or theatres.
Those who are vaccinated should be able to resume activities. The vaccination passport would show that a person is no longer in danger themselves and no longer a danger to others.
Supporters of a vaccine passport say it could help revive vital economic sectors like tourism. Paris is usually one of the world's most visited cities, but in the past year, few people have come to admire its monuments or enjoy attractions like this cruise.
The owner of this boat tour company on the River Seine says he would welcome a vaccine passport if it would encourage international travellers to return to the city, because without them, it'll be a challenge to keep the business afloat.
Any solutions that can help us live normally again would be good. There are already countries that require vaccinations to enter, so a vaccine passport is a good idea if it can help everyone work again.
Opinion polls suggest that a majority of people in France support a vaccine passport for travel or access to certain services.